Welcome to the Main Meal Weight Management Support, where we help each other find the self-esteem and confidence to reach our weight goals by tapping into joy and living our lives in every moment. So, back when I first knew that I would finish the book I'd been writing for 20 years, The Main Meal: The New Perspective on Weight Loss, I started blogging about a year and a half before the book actually came out. And in those days when I was blogging, I would just write about the things that made up the main meal for me, the things I appreciated, the things that brought me joy, the the things about life that I would notice and not just let my life go past me. So I want to read one of these writings for you. This is what our Wednesday morning is going to be. I'm calling this one a main meal musing. This is just something me thinking about what's important to me. This is called A Free Lunch, and it was written back in February of 2015. One day I walked outside for lunch and I noticed it. There was a complete freedom of movement in my body, an absence of pain. I looked around and the sky was blue, the air smelled clean, the breeze was soft on my skin. In that moment, I had no unmet needs and no unfulfilled desires. Those absences were so satisfying. I could have turned right around, walked back inside the building, and continued on with my day without missing a beat, even though I would have missed a meal. I had been so in touch with my body's needs and desires on one level or another for so many years. It seemed like there was always something to attend to, whether it was hunger, thirst, pain, hydration, sickness, or fatigue. And I tend to get very caught up in catering to each and every bodily need or desire, feeling that that's somehow a measure of the value of my very essence, that I not allow my body to want for anything. Of course, my entire upbringing was a training in how to serve others through self-denial. It is ironic that I find myself once again serving this body on so many levels, never once giving a thought to the fact that this activity alone consumes enormous amounts of my attention and my energy. Once again, I find myself in a familiar pattern of tending to the trees without noticing that I'm in a forest. That day, that moment was so extraordinary. I felt so free. I just stood there in the middle of the driveway in front of my building so I could extend the moment into minutes. I realized I had stepped outside of my normal pattern of thinking, and I had noticed my true essence in an instant. I burned that feeling into my body so I could bring it back up and remember it in the muscles and in my nostrils and on my skin and in my eyes. I wanted to write this blog for weeks, but either I felt I couldn't do the moment justice or I couldn't get back to the feeling completely enough to really recreate it in words. Well, there are no words that do it justice. It just lives inside of me. But it can't stay inside me if it is to truly have meaning. It has to be shared. So today I felt compelled to finally write it out. The old cliche says there's no such thing as a free lunch, but I know better. I know there are spectacular moments in my life when I'm fully present, without thought, need, lack, or destination. I know there are moments when I simply am. And those moments are the main meal. They are the feast, the freest of free lunches, because I don't have to earn them. And I don't pay for them before or afterward. That perfection exists in every moment. And all I have to do is walk outside and embrace it. So join me every Wednesday around 10:30 a.m. Remember, the important word in the main meal weight management support is support. Making changes to our lives is a game of solitaire, but it should never be played alone. Let's do this together. See you next week.